Guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Zugandlebeda, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you've not already. So for today's video, you guys, we're going to be talking about why you keep on doubling back to your ex or your exes, people that you used to talk to, people that you used to deal with from your past. I'm going to be giving you reasons why you keep on doing that, and at the end of the video I'm going to be telling you how you can come out of that situation, because this is exactly what you need to do. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, and if you need any convincing on why you should join the team, hopefully this video will provide you with the justification for you to subscribe to the channel, because I need you on my team. So yeah, let's just get into it, and it's gonna be another lit girl talk. So one of the major reasons why we go back to our exes or people that we used to deal with in our past, it's simply because it brings back familiarity, right? When something brings something such as a familiarity in our present tense, it brings the feelings and emotions of comfort, relaxation, because you know exactly who this person is, how they operate, and what is their potential and what they are capable of, right? So when you go back to your ex, it's really nothing new, but you're just going through the same things that you and that person were going through, simply because it brings back a sense of comfort. You already know who this type of person is. So one of the major reasons why we go back to our exes is because it brings back, familiarity. You already know what to expect from this person. You already know, I don't know, their sex drive, their past, you already know certain things about them. So when you go back to that person, you really just not amazed or, I don't know, intrigued to chase that person, because the chasing was already done. Right now you're just going back to whatever it is, simply because you miss the feeling and the anticipation and the adrenaline rush you got from, arguing and just going through the toxic, breakup to makeup type of age. So going back to your ex brings back that feeling of comfort. It's like just that homely type of feeling, because you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, right? So after you break up with someone, right, you have to understand the life lesson, right? And you have to forgive yourself for certain things that you allowed yourself to go through. Do you understand? What do I mean by this? In order for you to forgive yourself and move on past the whole experience that was happening in that relationship, you need to take certain things into account, right? By taking those things into account, you're able to forgive yourself for the things that you personally played a part in them resulting in the way that they did. Do you understand? So for you to start the healing process, so that you can be able to move on, right? And understanding the fact that you are trying to forgive yourself for the things that transpired in the relationship allows you to grow emotionally and mentally, to best articulate yourself, not to best articulate yourself, but to know exactly what was happening in the relationship. Because the biggest mistake that we tend to make whenever we break up with someone, whenever we leave someone, is that the lessons that we learn, we are so quick to tell everyone about it, right? And that's the number one mistake that we tend to make, because I'm guilty of this too. In my younger years, whenever I would break up with someone, I'll be so quick to tell my girls, I'm like, listen, me and him, girl, no more. I'm just back for the streets. I'm just, do you understand? So, and I would tend to try and, me telling my friends that I'm done with him, it was just low key me just trying to forgive myself, me trying to convince myself that I'm no longer dealing with this person. But when I saw him with another person, I'm like, no, boo boo. No, like, we are back together. Like, I cannot have you. I cannot stand you seeing with someone, and that I cannot stand you seeing you with someone. And that resulted in that situation just being toxic, right? So all the life lessons that you learn in your relationship, right, those lessons need to be for you. The mistake that we tend to make is that we tell each and everyone what we learned in that relationship. They were not there with you. Do you understand? So for you to actually understand the lessons that you learned and be able to forgive yourself for those lessons that you learned in that relationship, they need to be meant for you. Do you understand? So, and this thing of, because most of the time when we tell people, right, that okay, it didn't work out with this person, most of the time, in my case, I always portrayed myself as a victim, and I know that majority of people that go out there and tell people who in that relationship and when things ended, they place themselves in a very victimized states of mind. Do you understand? It's like, okay, I broke up with him because he was doing this and this and this to me, right? And when you operate from that type of mindset, it kind of wounds of how this person did you wrong and how you played you. However, there's no fault from your end, from your side. And this is why you're continuously going back to your ex, because it's a fake breakup, because you are still hurt and you're still trying to convince yourself that this person played you. How does that work? How? You continuously go back to this person because it's like you're looking for an apology and for things to be rectified, for things to actually proceed and work out between you and this person, is if this person apologizes for their behavior. But how can a person apologize for their behavior if they're not sorry for the things that transpired in that relationship? Because that person simply knows that you also played a part in how things ended. Everyone needs to take a part of how things ended in that relationship. So you tend to have this mindset of just playing a victim card in this thing, right? And your feelings are hurt. So you're trying to convince yourself that this person did you wrong and you're looking for an apology. But if you were practical with yourself, practical enough with yourself, you would actually understand that it was a choice for you to stick around in that situation and allowing whatever it is that was happening to transpire in that relationship, because you only teach a person on how to treat you, and you teach a person how to treat you based on what you tolerate. And for a guy to have his cake and eat it too is if you give the guy your cake. And that's on period. We seriously need to be cognizant of the fact that we know, based on the boundaries we have or we don't have, we teach a person on how to treat us, right? And for the most part, right, based on the stories that these people tell about their fake breakup, because we know what's better, they're gonna get back to each other in 2 weeks' time. Based on the stories that they tell, that how this person played them and how this person took advantage of them, there've been multiple occasions that this person could have left, but they did not. You did not. So you are the blame too. You are the blame too on how things are continuously occurring, knowing very well that you could exit the relationship, you could exit the door at any minute, at any time, but you choose to stay. So in this narrative, you're not the victim. I'm sorry. So if you're trying to leave someone and move on, you would constantly go back to the person you were dealing with if you don't upgrade or become a better version of yourself. So in order for you to upgrade and be a better version of yourself, certain precautions and steps need to be placed in hand. Because if you do not change the person that you were when you were in that relationship with that person, you would constantly be going back and forth with that person and having troubles with controlling and managing your emotions, because you are still the same person you were when you were with that person. First step for you to overcome this toxic back and forth with that old person, you need to change your setting, right? Let's say your bedroom, right? Where the last time that person came into your house, into your room, and he gave it to you good, right? He did that. So now you need to change your whole setting of your bedroom, right? Change the curtains, change your bedroom, change the whole setting, change the sheets, wash it up, put in new ones. This is part of the process of trying to mentally tell yourself that you are now going through this new phase of changing certain things about yourself. Have you ever cleaned up your room and you cleaned it up and you removed a chair in your room, right? So that's subliminally, it means that no one is supposed to come in your room and sit down and have a conversation with you. Okay, they can have a conversation with you, but no one is meant to come in and sit. Do you understand? So that type of change, it has a type of positive connotation to it, because it plays on how you are trying to change certain things in your life, right? So the last time that boy came into your room or whatnot, and he did what you guys were planning on doing, so make sure that you change certain things about your room, right? Move the tables, the furniture around, change your bedding, change the sheets, change everything. This is going to allow a new change, a new season for yourself to try and improve certain things. And you're leaving all things in the past because you're no longer the same person. So part of you wanting better for yourself, it comes along with changing your whole environment, your whole serena, and the whole nine basically. So make sure that you change these little things, because these little things will definitely make a huge impact in your breakup. So number 2, get yourself a goal book, a diary, right? Get yourself a planner, have goals for yourself, right? Where do you see yourself months from now? Where do you see yourself in December? Write out certain goals that you would like to achieve for yourself. This awakens a challenge within self, whereby you're trying to challenge yourself for the better, which subliminally means that you'll be becoming a new person. So whenever this old person, this old thing comes back, you're no longer the same person mentally, because right now you're trying to improve yourself. So it's very important that you switch up your schedule, right? And the things that you used to do, change them up and do them differently, right? So this also allows room for improvement in certain things, because now you're trying out new things and you're doing things differently. So it is very important that you get yourself a diary, a goal book, whereby you write down your goals, your visions, everything that you're trying to improve on yourself, right? The things that you're currently battling with. Maybe you've got a temper, maybe you've got things that you need to work on self, based on the things that you learned in your relationship, and trying to rectify those things within self, right? And it's also important that you do the mirror type of thing, right? Because I personally talk to myself like a lot in the mirror. So it's very important that you talk to yourself. Maybe you do a voice note, right? You record yourself whilst talking, right? This is all about releasing what does not serve you, releasing certain things that are within self. This is not about you calling your best friend and calling your friend and telling him or her that, oh my goodness, I'm going through this and this and that, because your friend can understand to a certain extent, but they can never understand fully, because they was never there with you in that moment in your mind when you were going through those things that you were going through. Remember, I told you in the beginning of the video that the things that you learn in your relationship, the lessons that you learn in your relationship, and the conclusions that you take, they are for you. The life lessons that you learned in that relationship are for you. They're not for you to gallivant and just spread like some wild oats to everyone, and basically just overly explaining yourself on why things ended, or why things ended up the way that they did. These lessons are meant for you, right? So these lessons that you learned in that relationship, it is very important that you note them and you take them into account. Like for me, right, in my previous relationship, I knew that I was a bit irrational, right? I would take decisions in a very, okay, let's say I was mad about something, right? I would take a decision right there in the spot, in that moment, done for, right? And I understood that that was a problem for me, because I was irrational, right? So in me trying to better myself, to improve my horizon, I had to acknowledge that I have a problem when it comes to me controlling my emotions and feelings, right? So part of me working on self is acknowledging that I have a problem, writing it down, and whenever I come across situations whereby they test me, they trigger certain things, I can be aware of, okay, the old person could have reacted like this, but now this new person, no, boo boo, I'm just gonna take my time, I'm just gonna think about it, and then I'm gonna come back to you with a conclusion, right, that is more irrational. So it is very important that you take into account that the life lessons that you've learned, that mama, so the life lessons that you learned for yourself, it is very important that you actually take them into account for yourself, to actually understand what you were going through. So this thing of mirror type of analogy that I use for myself, and it works best for me. I don't know if it'll work for you, but you should definitely try it out. That in the 7 days, right, within you guys ending the relationship, it is very important that you talk to yourself, right? Talk to yourself when you bath, talk to yourself when you do dishes, just talk to yourself, because there are certain things, because there is power in words. I should say there's power in words. So the minute you try and release all the things that are, all the things that you are thinking about internally, and actually just vocalizing it to the universe, it actually puts it in a very positive, I don't want to say positive, but it puts it in a kind of like in a positive space whereby you're willing to work on it, because you see that it is a problem. So reinvent yourself, better yourself, do things differently, go to the gym, just be a kick-ass version of yourself immediately you exit that relationship, right? Because it is very, it is like life changing when you know that you gave yourself, when you gave your all into a relationship and it didn't work out, right? It is very, I don't know, upholding to a certain extent, to a certain degree, right? However, you need to be cognizant of the fact that when things do not work out in your favor, it is okay for you to remove yourself out of that situation without feeling abused, victimized, or in any sort, right? So, and I think that I'm just probably just going off topic, and I'm just running my mouth. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you were able to understand whatever it is I was trying to, educate you guys on. And I don't know everything when it comes to relationship. The little that I know, I try and wing it, and just try and teach you guys. But make sure that you subscribe to the channel and share this video with anyone, because you may never know who might be going through this and they having a rough time just knowing how to understand their feelings and emotions. So thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time on my next video. I love you. You already know. Period. Poo. Bye.